And that's the Bishop's High School. So this is Quamina Street and intersection with Carmichael Street.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
Alright, that's Bishop's High School. And this intersection, you can see the high school, Bishop's High School, in relation to St. George's Cathedral, which is now under renovation. The top of Carmichael Street. This is another avenue, right? That's Bishop's High School. Alright, I attended the school in 1985. Left in 1985. Carmichael Street. So this is Quamina Street, Quamina and Carmichael Streets. And again, it's one of the avenues that extends from St. George's Cathedral in the south, that's Church Street in the south, turns into King Street, on the other side of the St. George's Cathedral. This is the Fly Jamaica Airways office, Georgetown office. That's the Oasis Cafe, another place to eat in Georgetown. And this is the parade ground or Independence Park. And on the other side are some of the important company and government buildings. This one is the Adult and Continuing Education of the Ministry of Education. New Nazareth Home, Demerara Tobacco Company headquarters, the K. Jumunyasin law offices. Right over this side you have some stands and a football game in session. And of course the promenade gardens, which we've seen before. And Middle Street. Right, that's Middle Street. Now we've seen this intersection before. It's the Promenade Gardens. Hello. And on this side, the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Alright, the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Remember, this is Carmichael Street. It's one street, one block away from Main Street to the west, and Waterloo Street to the east. So this is the other side of the Promenade Gardens. Good afternoon. No, it's green in the city. Good afternoon. And on the other side, the president's residence. Alright, so we've seen this on the other side of the compound in Main Street. This is Promenade Gardens, as the sign says. And this is the president's residence. It's a lot of greenery and well manicured lawns. And Carmichael Street goes all the way to Lamaha Street, where Kingston begins. And we're coming up to the intersection with Newmarket Street. Newmarket Street. The last intersection on Carmichael Street before you get to Lamaha. So we haven't done a tour of Newmarket Street, but one of the reasons why Carmichael Street is important, okay, and that's the headquarters of the Republic Bank. Yes, one of the reasons why Carmichael Street is important is because it has this well-known private hospital called Woodlands Hospital. This unassuming structure on the right hand side is the Woodlands Hospital. It's a private hospital, and as you can see, we've done some extension and renovation in the back, expansion. That's the Woodlands Hospital, and in the coming weeks I will be doing a review of the health system in Guyana, and Woodlands Hospital is one of those private hospitals that is included in the health system. We have both a private and a public health system in Guyana, and Woodlands has been one of the dependable and high standard private hospitals that has actually helped us and engaged us in the training of some of our medical students. And so I'll be visiting them again and hoping to utilize their services in the training of our current class of medical students. This is another branch of Scotiabank, branch on Robb Street. This is the one where I previously did my banking, and I no longer bank there. But this brings us to the end of Carmichael Street. This is a rare public bathroom in Georgetown. You can see it's not even in service. Good afternoon. Yes, and across the street used to be the Transport and Harbors Department building on Lamaha Street. So this is Lamaha Street, and the Lamaha Canal continues on the other side of the street. It's kind of a famous waterway in Georgetown, one of those canals that's important for the drainage of the city, keeping the city dry. But this is Lamaha Street, and that used to be, or probably still is, the old Transport and Harbors Department. That is the government agency responsible for the transportation sector of the economy. They used to be responsible for the national road transportation system of buses. But Lamaha Street is also becoming revitalized. This is a building probably recently renovated, and I guess awaiting occupancy. This is the famous Parade Street. It's the reason why I refer to Parade Ground as Independence Ground, because it's easy to confuse it with Parade Street in Kingston. So this is Parade Street, not to be confused with Parade Ground. Lamaha Street. Yeah, so Lamaha Street is also one of those streets that runs from east to west and extends from Water Street in the west all the way to Kitty. In fact, it goes through, goes over the St. John Road and extends all the way to Sheriff Street. This is another avenue, right? Like we saw Carmichael Street is a famous, well-known avenue. This is Waterloo Street, another street divided with a walkway down the middle. We've seen a little bit of that in the previous video, but that is Waterloo Street. Lamaha Street is one of those important corridors, arteries in the city. It's not in the center, and it's not quite on the periphery like you have the Seawall Road and Carifest Avenue, but it goes past some important structures, and the Ministry of Public Health and the Georgetown Hospital both have access points or entry points to their buildings on Lamaha Street. So this is one of the buildings of the Ministry of Public Health, and this is their Ministry of Public Health Food Policy or Food Environmental Health Department and Food Policy Division. This is that famous monstrosity, or infamous monstrosity. It's rumored to now be under negotiation for rental to the University of Guyana as an extension of their downtown campus. But this building is still under a cloud of suspicion as far as the funds that was used to build it. And this is Camp Street. So you've seen a tour of Camp Street before. Just gonna go back down here at this end of Camp Street to pay my cable bill. So, good afternoon. This end of Camp Street, I don't know if I featured it in the last video, but this is that infamous building. And this is a bank, the Demerara Bank headquarters, main building. And I think Camp Street would have to be one of the contenders for most important streets in the city in Georgetown. Owing to the number of banks on Camp Street. So there are about 5 banks on Camp Street, which means that it's probably the street in Georgetown with the most banks. And for that reason alone, it could be considered an important street.